Well, let's talk about Canfin Homes now. Quarter three was a weak one, both on the dispersals as well as AUM growth was tepid. However, the outlook could remain fairly positive from here on if what we saw in terms of one-offs in the past quarter are resolved. To understand more, we are joined by Mr. Suresh Iyer, the Managing Director and CEO at Canfin Homes. Hi, Mr. Iyer, good morning and thanks a lot for joining in. Well, quarter three was impacted by a couple of factors. So, in both your geographies, I want to ask you, Bengaluru as well as Hyderabad. Has the situation in Bengaluru been resolved and the situation improved in Hyderabad?
Actually in Bangalore, we almost got hit by about 400 crores. We could have done better had the e-Khaata issue not been there. Things have started to slightly look up because till in the last about 20 days or something, about 80,000 e-Khatas have been released. But still, it's just a trickle considering the amount of applications that have already come in. So what we require is quick resolution of this program, and then we will definitely be able to look up. But things have started improving a little bit. Telangana is still a little slow. We would expect some more change and some more positivity and in the sentiment in the market in Hyderabad. But if Karnataka also grows, we should have a good quarter in Q4 because that itself is contributing almost 30% of our incremental business and of our AUM as well.
Okay, all right. Mr. Iyer, let's get to a couple of numbers then.
Sure.
Year to date, your dispersals are roughly around 6,100 crores, very, very roughly. Now, earlier, I think you were talking about a number of around 10,000 crores.
Correct.
So what is the realistic number you can end this year with? Can you do around 2,500, 2,700 crores in quarter four? Which means for the year, you'll be in that vicinity of around 8,500, 9,000 crores. Tell us, what is your revised dispersal targets? Please go ahead, sir.
Looking to the present situation, if we should be able to do a Q4 of last year numbers, which is around 2,400. But if Karnataka improves and we are seeing some improvement, then we could better that also. And yes, we are targeting around 2,700. If Karnataka improves, we should be somewhere in that range. So that's what we are looking at. But otherwise, also even without with the present situation that Karnataka is in, we should be touching or a little tag better than the Q4 of last year.
So then for the year, you'll be in the vicinity of around 8,500 to around 9,000 crores. 8,500 could be the lower end and towards 9,000 could be the upper end. Is that correct?
That is correct. Closer to 9,000 will be in the higher side. That is correct.
All right. And is it too soon to ask you about how FY26 is likely to shape up? What are the targets you have in mind?
Next year we definitely would continue to have our target of 12,000 crore because, in Q2 we had started seeing good numbers. Our north is doing well. Rajasthan, Gujarat is already doing well. It continues to do well. Tamil Nadu continues to do well. We had some slowdown in Andhra in the first quarter, but in Q2 after the change of government, that has also started improving. So I think barring Karnataka and Telangana, I think all other markets are doing well. So I would continue to have the same target for next year of 12,000 crores. 12,000
crores. And what would that mean in terms of AUM growth?
That would be around 15% AUM growth next year.
And this year, what will you end with?
This year, if around 2,300, we should be around closer to around roughly about 10% growth in AUM.
10% AUM growth. On the margin aspect, I wanted to ask you, NIMs, I think they came slightly under pressure, but spreads improved.
Correct.
What is the cost of funds as of now in comparison to what it was at? Are you seeing some easing on that front?
Q3 we had some benefit in cost of funds for two things. One, we had a couple of reduction in our bank term loans. We were able to move some of our term loans from MCLR linked to repo linked. All our loans now on the bank borrowing side are linked to repo. So that's a positive. Second thing is we also raised about 1,600 crores from our NHB. So that was also came at a lower than bank cost. So both these things have benefited us or helped us in the Q3 results, Q3 cost of borrowing. Q4 normally the rate of interest does go up a little bit. There is a little bit of liquidity pressure, so it could be a little high. But the impact overall on the year would be much less because it will be spread out over the quarter. So we may not have a very large impact in terms of absolute numbers. So we are not very worried about the NIMs. And the spreads we continue to hold our target of 2.5% plus in terms of interest spread, and 3.5% plus in terms of NIM.
Okay, all right. And final question, what's the outlook on developer loans, sir?
No, we are not doing developer loans, but we do have APF tie-ups. We started that in June. And so far, we've had some good traction. Now, slowly, we are getting better results. By the end of the year, we should be around 60 to 75, APF projects we should have tied up with for loans. But we are not doing developer loans.
All right, Mr. Iyer, we appreciate you joining in. So that number in terms of dispersals has got revised to around 8.5 to around 9,000 crores for this year. Next year, you're still gunning for around 12,000 crores. And in terms of AUM growth, 10% this year and close to around 15% for the next year itself. The stock actually is still holding in the green. It appears the sheet has factored in most of the negatives at this price.
Well, NBFCs are going to be in HFCs, and within the NBFC space, perhaps will be an interesting pocket that we'll have to watch out for if interest rates start to come off. I mean, it's a broad macro kind of a theme, and HFCs are the safer, actually the safest of the non-banking companies, just in terms of lending and how much, level of NPAs, etc. So it's just about how efficiently they run. Can Fin Homes in focus there.